pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming. This is the May 6th, 2024 meeting. We need approval of the prior minutes meetings. That's April 15th and the special meeting of April 29th.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
The motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Correspondence from the town clerk.
I have budget modifications from the supervisor's office. The request from Chief Maresca for the AEDs. We have correspondence from Orange County Municipal Planning Federation. Jeannie Zoll attended the land use and planning course. We have the copy of the annual financial report for 2023, the trash report, the spring trash report, the building department monthly report for April, and the Mount Hope senior meeting schedule, the Mount Hope senior trips, and info on the Newport, Rhode Island trip. And that's all that I have.
Okay, thanks, Kathleen.
Yep.
Board member reports. Start with you, Jim.
Chris Furman, myself, and Mayor Carey met with the Greenville Ambulance Court. It was a good meeting. I know there's a few questions going back and forth on that, and they're here tonight if there's any other further questions you guys might have on that. The other two things I have is for Dean, really. Any idea when we may start on the basketball courts?
I don't, Jim.
Okay.
There's just 100 things going on right now. I can't give you a schedule.
And the other question is, did we ever get quotes for the gutters for the youth center?
No,
Okay,
I didn't.
okay, that's all I have.
Chris?
I have a few things. One is, we were talking about doing a parks committee,
Mm-hmm.
so if the board's okay, I would like to move forward and start getting that under wraps.
Yep.
Because I did speak with, football and spoke a little with Ken, but from Little League, I think it'd be good to get them to get some
Yeah.
people on it.
So we can get one from football, one from Little League, Dean, maybe one from the 4-H.
Yeah, and then this way we can get
Yeah.
everybody.
Definitely.
Okay. Other than that, no, I don't have anything else.
Carrie?
Don't have a lot. Myself, Jim, and Chris attended Little League opening day, which was great. The parade was always a good day, and the fields looked nice. Most of us also last week with the bridge opening. I know everybody's happy to see that open. I attended last week the Village Arbor / Earth Day tree planting at the Village Park, which was also a nice day. And then DMV will be at Village Hall this Friday, May 10th. And then this Sunday, Otisville Firehouse is having a pancake breakfast for Mother's Day from 8 to 12.
I'm sorry, I have one other thing, you just put, DMV is not gonna be here this month at Town Hall because the week that they normally come, they're actually doing the scheduled service in the bus.
Okay.
So we're set up for this month, I'm sorry.
Amanda?
Short and sweet. Planning board meeting is Wednesday, May 15th. I do not have an agenda yet to speak of. And also, Mike, are you available Friday if I could come up and we could work with those speakers?
Just what time? I have something in the morning.
Okay,
a
what
hearing,
time
but
works
after
for you?
that- I would say anytime afternoon should be good. After
Okay.
12 noon.
Perfect, all right.
Okay.
Plan on 1 o'clock?
Sure.
All right, that's it.
All right, great. I have a couple items. So Dan started this
Mhm.
last week, so the cleaning has been going well. There's been a few key issues and trying to work some of that out. But I think the building definitely looks cleaner.
Yeah.
The bathrooms are getting cleaned on a regular basis. Helen is also working out great. She's been here for a couple more weeks on top of that. So we finally got caught up. So in 23, for whatever reason, we weren't billing for the planning and zoning board for the whole year. So we sent out invoices the other day for $6,039.50 for 2023 for things that we've already paid for our engineer and our lawyer. So that's good. One of the things that we came up with that I think we were looking for is authorization that we can spend up to $500 a month from Amazon for cleaning supplies, office supplies, because with the new system, we're bumping into, some issues. So we're gonna need to pre-authorize that spending, so we don't, so we can keep up with it. And then my last item is, we need to set a public hearing for our next meeting on the 20th for the Restore New York grant. The grant is due that week, at the end of the week, but we have to have a public hearing before that to give members of the public the opportunity to weigh in. And that's all I had. So can we do a motion to do a public hearing for the Restore New York grant on the 20th at 7:30?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Can we also get a motion to pre-authorize the spending of up to $500 a month for supplies from Amazon?
I'll make the motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Highway report, Dean?
I got a few things. It looks like with the governor's budget, it looks like our CHIPS money is gonna be just about the same. It's about $150 less this year. I have summer help lined up. Two people, Drew Jazabowski, who would be returning from last year. And I have a new applicant, Mason Hand, who looks to be a good applicant. Met with him a couple times already. They'd both be starting around on or about 6/20. Mason is just finishing high school, and Drew he's a junior, I believe, in high school. So they'd both be working 410s because they're over, they're 17 and 18. So I just need approval for that.
Dean, how do you spell Mason's last name?
H-A-H-N-E.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I also was notified last week, our bridge over Shawangunk on Spruce Road has been yellow flagged, which, it needs some work. Bottom line is, the steel girders have rusted and they've become thin now over the bearings, so there is some movement every time traffic goes over it. I've asked the engineer to step in and help me with it, but I figured tonight I'd like to get approval to put a 5-ton weight limit on it. I think that'll help,
What do we call that bridge again?
Spruce Road Bridge.
Just that's it.
The state calls it Spruce Road over Shawangunk Hill. I believe that's it, Paul.
Scott, can we just vote on that tonight as an emergency? What do we have to do with that?
I mean, you should take action sooner or later, given the condition of the bridge, so I think you can pass a resolution tonight, if that's what you want to do.
All right. Everyone's thoughts on it? Need a motion to create a 5-ton weight limit on the Spruce Road over Shawangunk Hill Bridge.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Then we'll just do it all at once. Motion to hire Mason Hahn and Drew Jazabowski as our summer help effective 6/20, you wanna do, Dean?
Yeah, 6/20.
Effective 6/20.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Thank you. Mike, police report?
We received the list today for, full-timers, so Charlotte's gonna get those canvas letters out tomorrow. Once we get those back, we'll start the interview process. I think we're looking definitely for one, possibly two. Other than that, any questions on the Cintas proposal or AED proposal, what I was recommending Cintas?
So we did a budget mod, which we're gonna vote on later. And then once we do the budget mod, we'll have money to do the Cintas, so we'll do that all at the same, after the budget mod. In case, in theory, that could not pass. That's it?
Yeah, that's it, sorry, unless there's any questions.
Any questions for Mike? No? Village of Otisville.
The only thing we have to add is that the military banners that the veterans are putting up are in. And if you haven't seen them, they're really beautiful. They're a nice job. They've got a lot of them. It's gonna look really nice when they get them up. Other than that, a lot of people are really happy about the bridge. I can't believe how many people are thrilled over the, little bridge. That's about it.
Okay, awesome. All right, so at this time, we need to go into executive session to consult with our attorney about possible litigation. So we'll need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We'll be back.
Nah, we're good. Just say it's not I figured that's what I was.
Hopefully we have to sell them Sunday.
You guys got real busy.
The next bridge.
We don't have to talk about future translation of land. That's not something you won't want me to hire. You guys, you want to take care of it? Like the whole.
Right.
You gotta let me know how you feel about it. If it's something you don't want to handle, that's a lot. Just let me know so I know how to get pricing and talk about how you want to go about it.
I'm not
Yeah, I just have to know Friday. You know.
What, it comes up every time. How do you feel about it?
Of course they are. Of course I don't.
Keep your set of keys.
If it's ever stolen, you guys are suspects now.
They'd be in a lockbox somewhere.
Yeah,
The other thing is, especially the next two services.
Before they open them, I told them.
Did they get in?
They have to go.
How long ago was it? German shepherds.
I think I have all the files. So if I can find one, that's fine.
I'll have Floyd come up.
Yeah, and then you can just shoot like a text. So I
realized they
know it's like,
the site doesn't have to,
we'll know.
yeah, some of the sedans are too low. If it's
And then another
an
non-big deal,
RV,
that barrel, garbage barrel.
yes, you can see them.
Just brought it.
And then I have
I mean, it has a bag in it, stuff. That's why I said it's not a big deal.
You can't see a car sitting, if it's a sedan, yeah, the sedans are in trouble. Sitting at the stop sign, you have no idea.
Maybe I'm just like way off here.
Yeah.
I had an accident there just that way when I was 16. I was driving a car and I came up from town and I started to pull out. And I stopped and blew my horn. The guy had on me and I didn't get around. But he admitted he drove out, but he hit me. that, he was busy looking at bridge. So I said, so that tells you how long that bridge has been in disrepair, because I was 16, a long time ago.
Go home and watch it online.
Don't forget that.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what they should have. For even 6 months, you know, what would have taken, I think, but.
It might help one thing, because I have also mentioned the barrel there that tends to block your view.
Yeah, well, once they remove that, hopefully it'll be a little bit better.
Yeah.
I realized it right away. I didn't change the picture.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Solo. I was joking with him.
Makes me wonder what else.
Well, the nice part is you can never screw it up. I don't know, that's how we can, like, that one's twice
Sorry, I was gonna be like, Mike, 1 o'clock.
Again,
That's all right.
Besides,
No, no, playing with something here.
Graham, what time are you in on Friday?
One of the guys.
I'm not sure, we work Thursday night, so probably like
Doesn't
9:30.
Until what time?
Like you have to pull
We're
on it,
closed.
and the last time somebody fixed it.
I don't want to hear
Hinge maybe, I don't know. If you
We were
like,
in
if
there
you
when you
walk
were
down
off
there now, you'll see it's not closed.
taping, and I guess only one shot. So now he's gonna be.
Yeah, they just want to ask.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. You look like you were looking at me. I said,
I'll have him talk to you, but he's asking. Clearly, he's doing something at 1 o'clock now.
Okay.
Yeah, there was, I haven't even heard of them, and right now they ain't got.
Oh, they're putting it in.
it's kind of like for people
I was saying, even if they're doing it, and so street down, that would work in the right place.
is what crooked.
When were you gonna want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the picture.
This is the whole bunch of.
Probably a good thing I'm up on that day.
No, you can put it wherever you want, so you can put 12 houses in there.
Still working? Yeah. How'd that go?
Yeah. I'm gonna look at those, I don't know, I'm gonna go
I
with
think
them.
both the flags that are put up are still pretty cheap.
Yeah, like that, man.
No, I'm surprised.
Yeah. The Northeast South line.
They're building, I don't know if you know that, they're running new lines near Sanford.
I'm gonna answer someone else's
That's on,
let me say this, after Wednesday, call me. Or have a
they're
regular
running
call.
new lines.
I'm
That's
gonna
why
get,
I
I'm gonna
looked
get
up
2 prices
line
for
on
the
the
place
light.
in Florida, I have last year's prices, but, I know we gotta pick a date. Very simple. So it's a form you fill out at Village Hall, you write down whatever you want on the, whatever I wanna call it, Yeah. Strike a vote,
Not found in a bundle?
so they just give me a price. There's 2 positions.
Because that has been approved by,
Everything that you
so
look at,
they're
you must see
there.
one way or the other.
She wants
You wouldn't be able
to
to
have them
come in Right.
obviously
Just
wants to
to
have
do a
a
road
location,
study there.
but she's currently in the process of getting
That's
the car
where he
placed
went.
approved by them,
It's
but.
right on his turn. So.
She's got.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Because she's in shoelaces, she just wants to get everything set with the state so she can ultimately move over, but her one.
Listen, if she's coming to your house, send her to the crack wrap at the end of
Yeah,
the street.
yeah. But yes, there's a, I don't know how, I mean, how much the school, the old school now, but
Concrete plant?
she's happy, families are happy, parents are
Oh, I
happy, kids are
bet.
happy, they love the
Temporary.
location,
Yeah,
and
for
she's
what?
got a lot of goals for September.
Where your
that
cars
people
are?
Interested.
If they don't get
Because
enough
she's-
from
If you go to Bryce Garage, look up sheds
So
on the
it's
inside.
so
or like,
That's
Like
your
that 90 minutes from the plant.
So that's it, and she said also she has a
Concrete only has 90
number
minutes
of
from the plant
the
times four.
parents
I think you only have to
no,
be 10
this
foot
was
from
in
the
a
property.
plant.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah,
know, I know,
so
but
there's that
depending on
nostalgic
how
pull,
many-
again,
Yes.
that
I
they're,
don't know
the
if buildings
ones
don't,
that
but
are
all right.
legit, they, yeah.
They have it.
Yeah. It'll be what it'll be, there's only 6 of us,
They'd
you
have
know,
to- they'd have to
but
rent.
yeah,
I got
very
it.
happy
Cheaper
to
to
open
rent,
doors,
so
and have
it's
people
just-
come in and really see
Well,
what's
there's no
going on.
structure
So,
in your 20
it's
property there,
exciting,
maybe
yeah.
10 feet between
Tons of
structures.
work, but exciting,
I don't know,
yes.
don't
I
quote
think it's
me.
Be there?
Of
Good, good,
I don't
you can like literally walk.
People
across the street and
He goes like
up
this.
the
Hits the
whole
driveway.
block.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's what do you call it, yeah, I got
How big?
Village shop?
Can you make it?
I was cleaning my,
It's gonna,
I was cleaning my
it's gonna be all
garage
dust over there.
and it looks like Thomas Stewart.
We were
And
up
tools
to
that-
bridge.
You know, all my
People don't, people groom come
You know,
from that
you
area.
can never have it.
So listen,
Anytime I put a good tool.
How much the engineers made on this?
So finally,
Before it
I
was
buy
open,
I get sad.
no, I go where they were, the plants in my.
300
Was
pieces.
it cemented
In Mount Hope, yes.
side, it looks good. The
So I bought
visibility
him a
is not good,
6-tiered
there's no,
shelf.
there's no
I
safe
took all this
distance
stuff and I
Somebody-
said, whatever doesn't fit in
They
there,
don't know.
going in the junk pile for
We
gold.
advertise.
It's okay.
All this stuff has
It's
value,
okay.
not to me,
People
not
don't,
to me.
Or
that's why I think.
if
I
you,
think that's
if you're
eight.
coming up from
Main
Main Street and turning left,
Um,
turning
I
left.
did
that,
and
I
not
know,
see.
I thought exactly that, because I went down on
Unfortunately,
Sunday, I did like bagels in the morning,
yeah.
came back up,
And it's,
and I thought that, I was like,
Because the
oh,
board decided that they
can't
didn't
really-
do that.
and I have a little-ish SUV, if you're
Me
in
too.
a car,
Well, that's
I'm
it,
sure
I
you
can,
can't, yeah.
Because
Now,
each board is their own.
Yeah, I know, but
If the car's coming the other
they're
way,
there to represent the people,
and
the max.
people aren't.
And it, for me,
I know you're saying that right now.
yeah, I mean, I had no idea they were gonna put the concrete along there.
even if we
If
videotaped
they
what
had
they do here, videotape
just
it,
put it back
after the meeting.
another 6 foot
there
or
you go,
something, it might have solved the problem,
Yeah, it's two entities, but
but,
still
Yeah,
representing
right,
people.
that's definitely gonna be.
I
I don't
So
go on
I have-
Facebook much
I
anymore,
have white, I
because
have
it's
so
just
much.
sucked up too much of my time,
Yes,
I don't have
yes.
the time for it.
But
Today I was happy.
Different people are telling me this, to like all over Facebook, that people are saying, oh my God.
Really?
No, the planning board, the planning board.
And as I said, from what I can see, because
That's
I've
the
purposely
buried
gone up
one.
and down
Buried
a couple
one.
times.
Every, unless there's nothing on
Well,
our
not buried, I
agenda.
have
The
it.
problem
Can't really
exists
see that.
when both the car on Main Street and the car coming
Well,
across
there's a lot
the
of
street
those
are
that have
fairly
Our
low.
love, yeah.
But we, you know, it's
And I'm
advertised
I'm
here
real
that there's a
sensitive
planning
to
board
that,
meeting.
because when I was 16, I had an accident. Exactly what happened.
Wait, you read
I
the
stopped
Bible?
The CPA has a meeting coming up.
I pulled up,
I
and
didn't
I
even
saw
think
the
there
car
was a
coming,
paper anymore.
but I wasn't experienced enough to
I
quick, like, put it in
Yeah,
reverse or whatever.
my-
So I laid on the road.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, just block.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right in the lane. And the saving grace, I didn't get a ticket.
Also,
But
the
he
ordinance
didn't
Doesn't quite work out so well.
He welds it.
So-
States, some kind of inspector, and he was busy looking at the bridge. I said, now that tells you how long the bridge was a problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah,
just,
that's
you
true.
know, a long time ago.
You know, during COVID.
And then
it was-
I got that fixed.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
now.
All back together.
Oh.
Nothing.
All stainless steel bolts from.
The
Oh.
other trouble.
Yep.
Putting
One bolt.
they-
Why
Well,
would it take out the
5/16.
access road?
Mm.
I've had people ask about
They
that.
would probably go,
Because
they
they
probably go
told
to
us that
to
when
Mountain
we
Road.
started this fight back when
Because
Brian
I
Long
did
was
not-
here,
Okay.
Brian Carey continued it.
Well,
Even
about
to
the truck,
leave the
depends on
road
where
there,
they
Message from the
close it off,
had that-
just have it be like
nonsensical
for
message.
emergency.
Yeah.
Five
Yeah, because I saw they like
max
literally
speed,
tore it up.
50
It's, oh
miles.
yeah, it's
Service
part
attached.
of our
City dealer?
plan, for that to be a road.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well then,
I drove to
Yeah, I don't
So-
think
Kelly Way.
They,
the circle.
the last
Yeah,
meeting
no,
that he had with them about it, what they
Down
said
to like
was, the
60
only way they would
is this
consider
the
it,
Orange County
Then it's showing me-
Yes.
or whoever?
I will not.
the only way they would
About that.
consider
Down
it
the
is
street.
if the
I
village
get the current
undertook
all for,
a
on
complete
Rhode
traffic
Island for
study,
the,
and they
all
would
the
require a
college
traffic
that's out
light
there.
there.
The front
We
one.
poured 550
No, they only
yards.
had
Make a
like
four-way
100 to
interstate.
150,000 miles.
That's a lot of
And
yards.
of course,
Oh.
probably something has to do with the fact that they were gonna block the road.
The front
Yeah,
side
right.
is Mopar.
But yeah,
If I go through Mopar.
so,
Huh, okay, so that's probably not gonna happen. Because the village doesn't have money for those really expensive traffic studies, yeah.
After it goes
Oh,
through
yeah.
the cat.
for what they would require, yeah, it's not like going out there counting cars. or
Right,
anything.
right, yeah.
So, yes, they completely ripped it all up.
I saw that, I, like, literally, I saw it was blocked one day, and I feel like the next day, it was
Yeah,
shortly
well,
after.
now there's,
torn up.
it's got to be very nice grassy knoll where everyone's.
Oh, okay.
Or I can get it really cheap.
It's not so bad though.
Yeah, it is. And I had said, even if they could
I
have.
gotta do brakes on for
Could
slotted drive
drive it, at least
in my van.
walk to the
I
train
go-
station.
That's the one that they.
Well, that's the thing, now you gotta go all the way around
That's-
the bend.
that's the
Yes.
whole
But you know what's gonna happen, those slotted
plan,
drills
is
are
why
right now.
direct access to the
Same thing
train
happened on
station.
my truck.
Of course.
Walkability.
Yes.
They heat up, and then
Right.
where the drill is,
Huh.
And I
they start
thought
cracking.
Oh,
that because
know
they
that.
had to, they had to approve your comprehensive plan,
Mhm.
They're great
that
for
would give us some
looking
little
cool.
teeth.
Yeah.
well, that's what the look I'm going for. I just wanna look cool.
Yeah.
And then we put them on the.
So now.
In a minivan, by the way. I'm
Never
talking about
go
that.
along.
Well, we put them on the
The
route.
village, it's got ownership of that.
It is a Dodge,
And
right?
it'll be a road.
And it is, yeah,
That's
this
what
isn't,
we're
this is the,
Oh, wow.
this is the dad version, no roof rack, all blacked out, so.
County was gonna pay for
Remember
it,
when
it
it was
didn't
doing
happen,
the
whatever,
crew shoots
but,
for the rally car? We had a Mustang,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mustang GT, been a Mustang GT
because
rally
it's
car.
not being used for municipal purposes.
We ripped the whole suspension out, Ford,
But still.
store
Yeah.
suspension,
So I suggested, I don't know
modified everything.
if it's gonna
That cost
happen.
so
Show
much.
me something.
Yeah, very
We
nice,
had
once they redo the whole thing,
Bills.
if we put up like
Threes.
a little more like
So
it's
it's
down
lifted.
the park,
Oh, yes, yeah. Then it could be used for municipal
then that would
purposes,
be
right?
municipal
Yeah.
purposes as far as I'm
We
concerned.
had them on there for the
Agreed.
burgers.
So, I mean, Dennis ultimately
And
has
they-
to make the
they
decision,
Right,
but,
that's true.
but, you know, the whole time running the school, they pay taxes on it.
No good?
Oh,
Well, I guess it went there.
I know we found just like crazy, and I haven't
I just had them that are going there pages of people to see it.
well, it didn't help when I checked on the brakes on the area, it looks good, but.
Right, on a tiny little plot of land.
Yeah.
I should drink lemonade, this way when I hit the brakes, it shakes.
Probably the whole year.
It's had been this way the last couple of
Okay.
years.
Implemented in.
For that, right?
It would be third Wednesday.
Right, that's this.
Oh, it's been a great.
May.
The one
I'd say even if it's something you're gonna have to vote on, you can still wait.
That's something we can play with.
They would, they'd love to, and they,
But, I mean, it's not,
So speaking of reg, you wanna buy calendars?
yep.
I mean, of course, yeah.
But-
The rapid thing, sure, sure, absolutely.
But,
Oh, the fire
Add up
council?
and-
Yes.
I don't know.
How much are there? I forgot.
They're $5
It's not
a piece.
particularly like,
Racing
no.
it definitely doesn't.
If you need change, I
Like a
can have
90
some
before I
change.
throw the numbers on the side of the van, let's keep.
Well, I got a 20. I'll change it.
Yeah, I can give you change over 20. Want the number I just pulled out?
Sure. Thank you.
So we ripped the whole front. So we can sort of one.
And here is
That sits the carry business and,
a pen. If you give me,
Actually, he didn't
I think the
change.
phone number is what you need, I
They
think.
have to go home.
yeah, did you name and phone number?
I sent all of them. It's 8 o'clock.
10. Here.
Oh,
and 15.
Thank you.
And that's easy, because you know, to see them all walking in.
It's a big number.
Well, I've already sold 120.
Yes, okay, right.
I'm serious, I've sold 120. And if you lose a calendar, we've got the employee fees. If you win, they will call you and make arrangements to get you money.
But they're adjusting, right? It's like, I almost feel like low rates in there.
I shouldn't have done that, I should not have done that. I shouldn't have done
Whatever.
that. Hopefully that is. I have some that are my personals. Well, we had a pantry breakfast at the prior house.
I don't really care. They just have to flash. Right?
Yeah, I sold two.
That's it?
I sold two.
Really?
Because we had nobody coming. It's a pre-Mother's Day pantry breakfast.
Wow,
And we
that's
had
quite pleased.
gas
It was like last year,
was
we were three,
Yeah.
we didn't get any. So, yeah.
with laughter.
Super.
Yes, yeah.
So then my husband decided that he would go pay for me.
We, see, you got
I worked for that. I'm on the
we usually get quite a few more than that.
that.
The kids are,
I have to pay for me.
I was telling somebody today that I like reading the essays, I'm not on the committee.
But it's kind
But I
of
like
like
reading essays because they have to explain how the fields that they chose to pursue
If I
will
saw
have
another
better fields for the benefits. And they get where they
I saw the original 40 that I
I
had.
like when people do that behind the next to the robot.
I'll be happy, that'll be $100.
Oh, yeah.
160. I will be the top. As of right now, I'm the top seller.
talked about.
And I have to get a new program.
Because you go around and talk to everybody. That's
That's
exactly,
exactly.
that's sure that they want.
Right.
I will
And
delete.
assistive
Because
devices.
I
And
don't
development
know.
of assistive devices, 3D printers and all this stuff. I was like,
I'm not gonna.
Good.
good for you.
It's not thrilled with me because of fire, just because of fire
I
termination.
was,
I don't know why I thought.
filling my husband's clearance for brain.
As long as everyone's
It's not my, I get tires on one car, like my list is.
Absolutely.
I have reason to work for the next couple of years.
So
What I've done is I'll go down to.
I do feel like they're all over me. I don't think they are, but it's like.
Go to the local bar and I'll have the teller done it for me.
Better recognize.
That's all.
Do you like benefit of being a supervisor?
I get
Because I didn't want to buy tennis.
So my uncle, went on Facebook.
And then completely, he had no money left.
You know what I
And
mean?
this morning, I've been
Yeah, you gotta ask, you gotta ask.
And then he has no limit, then he pulls out.
So I gotta
So
look
he's
at
a
my
big guy,
glasses.
looks like a
Oh,
nice
no.
guy.
Oh, yes, those are
I'll
answering.
probably never run for it
Yeah,
now.
you have no money, Tommy.
No one knows that.
I get very paranoid about them. Answer
Your
the
priorities
Yeah, that's
are.
it, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you lose that, you've got
That
the
was never
important
pleasing.
so.
Well,
And you don't need to,
I think I've seen
we,
him.
that's amazing.
He's my
That's
deputy.
certainly, certainly in July, we'll check the
He looks
numbers.
like one of the guys who's in town.
Mhm.
He's been long.
getting all my conversations in here.
Came up in 1969 and, yeah, stayed with it.
I'll also mention it when I talk, but I did email.
Were you supposed to do it?
I think it probably does.
Training session.
I couldn't make it, I was away, I forgot all about it.
Didn't do it.
Yeah.
But that's the
I don't
stuff.
think
And
any,
then
nobody's
the
gonna check.
colorful pictures, you put that on the board.
So I don't have
Because
time
that's the one that
to
will
do dinner.
have trouble
I'm-
filling.
there's
A lot of our
a
guys
lot
can't
going on, as you can see.
afford it.
Yep.
Because I do the social media for the club, too, so it's like.
I have,
This is
but
like
not
another
because
full-time job.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous?
I went, it's, I really like that.
No,
Yeah.
What was it, was for the new members, you know, go to the zoning board and planning board, they're supposed to be
The
doing.
baseball
Yes.
fields as you're going out.
I go to
So how you
because
been?
I always pick something
Living a
up
good life, I say.
that I may not, that I missed the last time.
Thing after another.
oh, I have to go at some point, I know
No,
that,
I get it. Well, he's
I don't know
around.
You got
when,
your invitation to the luncheon?
Yes.
but I will.
Um,
I'm gonna bring that up tonight too.
then when we were in during COVID, I think it was a lot. Here to there. I have so many, I have so many credits built up. I didn't have to take any, I didn't have to write any.
Yeah, I'm not that good.
I was bored, I needed something to do.
I just felt like those lines.
So I took
I was like,
I
so maybe 40 people.
Three's
And then, you know,
Three's good.
came and now
I do
it's
like that.
wow. Every time I see
Less
him,
than 40
it's
then when I went
just to work
last
on
week,
So,
or
we can usually find
they spelled my name.
voice
They
now.
spelled my name on the certificate, they had to get it, like when I
Bunch of times.
redo it.
Yeah, yeah.
I asked
Well,
for an end
because
date
my name
because
was on their approved list,
this
I
could go
printed
wrong,
out, and they
but
couldn't read
there
my
is no end
handwriting.
date, so.
That's why I had it printed neatly.
Have you been yet?
No, I haven't been to the.
Good ice cream, good ice cream.
But they got it.
They're
placed,
Is this for me to-
I had,
Yeah, no, I have two of them, I'm gonna
Yeah.
post it later, but, they don't know about it yet, that's my only.
That's, at some point I'll go. I just wanted to make you go. No, that's not right now. Not certainly not doing
Oh,
something like that.
so-
Chats
And this is the,
She sends me pictures every day.
it's like $900.
she made that shit up.
Do that. So last year, I put it out, so
How old is it?
got about 10 people from other towns.
Supercharged.
So what's the
They
name of it?
said they wanted to come back
Oh,
this year, so I sent it to them too.
Oh, Jesus.
Temple Hill Tavern.
I'm happy to see it more
And I
than
could go punch
Yeah,
it.
I know where you
Yeah,
live.
with them, it gets up to 50, 55.
Oh, I mowed mine 5 times already this year.
Let it get straight first.
I mean, the guy that we
But
just.
then we slide it in on Saturday between the morning rain and the afternoon nighttime rain. It's gonna be-
University of Rhode Island. So we've spent some time in Rhode Island over the last 4 years. Nice little state.
I,
All right, I put.
I called this guy up.
in Providence for summer, actually.
We made it to the air.
Yes, my sister was going to Rhode
When
Island
he-
College
Our baby is
for her
almost.
graduate work, and I
I know he's got other, he's got other people that he knows. So I'll come back
I
and
love Rhode Island,
this
we've
past
gone
Saturday.
many, many times.
Yeah.
Problem.
I was only there once,
I'm
some years and years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't show up.
And never
Didn't
been
show up.
home.
Really not heard at work.
I was like this, I'm like, you know, and then when he caught me off guard.
And he's, I think he's ignoring me.
Oh, crazy.
I've called him twice, my husband's called
I
him.
think it's
Yes.
So we gotta find somebody different.
I think when you're doing it yourself, it's the.
And we need to because we're in the village and there's,
So
we're
we're
in
keeping our
some
fingers
place
crossed
that
that we're
our lungs
Too
do.
wrong.
They were recommended by some of the other clubs.
It says, I'm,
All years
I
I've
can't
done
move
this.
off.
we
So you don't need the
I mean, I know
airbags,
how
is that what
to, I know how to live. I'm allergic
you're saying? Okay.
Which was,
and I'm asthmatic.
We would.
there were two
Not a good
elderly
combination.
women who ran it.
Yeah.
They had Richard
This is one of my triggers.
and
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
were
no.
wonderful. Last year.
I may have
Eleven,
been
I
able
just
to
saw that
have
they last project
younger.
online.
I never met her.
I just saw it online today.
And because I do the
Just
no-go
telephone,
mag,
phone.
only my friends on
What's the guy
They
charge?
were just.
20 minutes to my home.
How close can I get that passenger
Well,
side to
it's
start?
How you get him to drive there for 20 bucks, I can tell you, that's crazy.
So.
Because he knows, because it's a friend of Brian.
So he's like,
Oh, okay.
hey,
So-
last
Yeah,
time
that's
I was
Yeah.
almost crying. Get in.
Because they don't talk to each
He,
other.
got
It's
squirrely.
one of our stipulations, because we have the same bus driver for is that they have to use electronic signs, and they always say, it's a little expensive, we save money, they'll see it. It's the bus driver, he doesn't want doing it so.
On my white group,
We're back.
Oh,
All right, so we need a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Old business, tourism grant update. So we were notified by Orange County that we got the $5,000 tourism grant, we got the full grant. So that is going to pay for the performers, it's gonna pay for a sign. I haven't spoke to Dean about it, well, I spoke to Dean a long time ago about building one of those signs out on Mount Hope Road, remember so they'll have $1,000 towards that and $1,000 towards digital advertising of the concert series. So that was awesome, thank you Orange County for that. Hidden Valley Sewer update, so H2O took over last week, so they've been there about a week. I've been there, I think 3 times, and spoke to Rebecca a couple times today. So just to clarify a couple things, we talked about the consultant. So he actually, after following up, says he's consulting, but it's really a service agreement as more than a consulting agreement. So I spoke to Rebecca. Rebecca's gonna go through it with him. Her short term is that all the readings from the plant are within limits. The plant is running well as far as they're concerned. There's definitely infiltration issues. So just from an 1/8 of an inch of rain yesterday, the QR tank or QT tank was almost full. So you know, the concern is that we're gonna have to pay to have that pumped out, right? I spoke to Jason. We are capping the pipe that we believe is around 13,000 gallons of clean water coming into the system. It's on the schedule from TAM. I had asked him today to call and find out when it's gonna be done, please sooner rather than later, so that hopefully within the next few days, that'll be done. There's now a lock on the pump station, so we have a little more security there. The one thing that they do need is garbage pickup. I don't know how we're gonna work that out, but they do need garbage pickup, and right now, there's quite a bit of garbage, they've been doing some cleaning up there. So, I don't know, thoughts?
How was it disposed of before?
I'm guessing Mike Brock threw it in the back of his truck and took it somewhere, maybe here, I don't know.
He would bring it here to the dumpster.
So, I'm not sure. One of their concerns is they're saying some of the things smell and attract bugs and rodents and stuff. So the idea is that it can't really stay there for a long period of time. So they're asking for actually a dumpster or a can, but it's gonna have to be done on a regular basis. So we can kick that around, I guess, and sooner rather than later. But everything they now are storing in the building. Kind of going through the plant, it's kind of been interesting, they've made some adjustments, those tarps have been pulled off the tanks. There's some electrical issues with the pump station, the pump was replaced, it's moving well, I like the idea, we now have the equipment in place to do the testing, I was telling Mike, I'm pointing to Mike because he's sitting in the back row, so we have good numbers, but what's coming out of the plant, they said is clean. I gave them the estimate that that Mike had got us for those membrane cleanings, and they're not quite sure why they would be needed based on what they've seen in a week. So that's a good start point. So it's going well. Anyone have any questions on that? No? Perfect. Ambulance service update. So the guys from Greenville are sitting in the front row. I know you've spoken to them. They have offered to provide service for the remaining rest of the year for no cost, but starting in January, the cost would be $150,000. I think that's obviously quite a bit of money. We did some numbers internally, and if nothing else was increased 1 penny, that would be a 6.5% tax increase in January. So obviously, that's a huge number. So I think, my opinion is that we have to have maybe a sit down with you guys and come up with, have a further discussion.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in, thoughts? No? Is there anything you guys wanted to add?
you have any questions for us or anything?
I don't, I think there's no question about the level of service and the competency and the you know, all those things. I think right now we have to, you know, make sure that we can afford it, quite
Right.
honestly.
That figure comes from, that's what Greenville pays us, from the town of Greenville.
So the town of Greenville pays you that.
That's what Greenville gives us a year, plus the rest we collect from billing. And the call volume is about the same, we put out from Mount Hope and Greenville, about 450 calls a year.
Okay.
So that's why we came up with that number.
Gotcha.
That's where that comes from, we just pulled out of the air.
No, we didn't think you did, it's
No,
just.
just so you know where it came from,
Yeah,
that's all.
absolutely.
You know, trying to keep
No problem.
pace with Greenville.
So I will be in touch,
Okay.
and, you are welcome to stay, but we'll be in touch, and maybe we can have a sit down and have some further
Absolutely.
discussions, so.
Absolutely.
Thank you. The phone RFPs, I've gone through them. My recommendation is we do go with ITC with the WAN option. That was $13,004, one-time purchase, and then, the monthly would be $665.74 a month. That was the cheapest of all three,
And that would include town hall.
and the police and the court.
Police and the court.
Town hall, police, and court.
Yeah.
Would not include highway, but the other would include. Besides for it being the cheapest, I thought it was the best package going through it. I don't know if anyone else
I
did.
agree with
Chris,
you.
you good?
I agree.
So, we would be taking this out of some of the ARPA money that's left. Currently, we have $32,963 in ARPA. So I'd like to get a motion to go with ITC for the phone system and take the money out of the ARPA, remaining ARPA money. It's $13,004 with the WAN option.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Gene Ridge, update. So, back last year, we had, an employee error, I think is a good way to say it, at a location on Gene Ridge. At the time, the previous town supervisor committed the town to paying for it, to fix the errors. Upon coming on board, I submitted to the our insurance carrier, because we do have coverage for that. They have denied us, for two reasons. One is we never notified them of the loss, and the second is that our policy prohibits us from settling losses without their approval. We are on the hook, we've consulted with our attorney on it, so tonight I'm looking for a motion to pay $22,942.71 out of B reserves to Joseph Kaufman.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Need a motion to approve the UniFirst contract for the police department.
So I think we tabled that last time,
Yeah.
if you recall, there was that was a kind of a standard formatted contract that they provide, which allowed for automatic renewal, which I believe was a 5-year term, if we did not cancel within 30 days of the renewal date. So that was something we tried to strike. The vendor pushed back on it, claiming that under New York State law, it's not enforceable anyway. The reality is it's not enforceable. The vendor would have to give you notice before the renewal date anyway.
Okay.
So based upon that, the requested change that we made, even if it remains, I don't think is an impetus to you going ahead and executing that contract if you so choose.
Okay, you guys wanna go forward with it then?
Sure.
Need a motion to sign the, contract with UniFirst for the police department.
I'll make the motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I think I handed you guys my copy of that culvert replacement. Did you make or is it still in the office, on your desk maybe?
Is it okay? Would you like it?
Yes, please. Thank you. So I'm gonna jump to the next item. We need to, we have a list of budget mods. Kathleen, do we need to read them?
Sure.
Thank you.
Decrease B, 8160.1, refuse and garbage personnel services, $82,660. Decrease B, 9030.8, social security by $6,323.49. Decrease B, 9060.8, health insurance by $20,000. Increase B, 9901.9, interfund transfer expense to highway, $108,923.49. Increase DB 8989.1, home and community personnel services, $82,660. Increase DB 9030.8, social security, $6,323.49. Increase DB 9060.8, health insurance, $20,000. Increase DB 5301.9, interfund transfer revenue from B, $108,923.49. I know I said that wrong. The purpose, currently, the B fund includes wages paid to highway department employees for refuse and garbage collection, related social security and health insurance expenditures. The expenditures will still be paid by the B fund, but the dollars will be transferred to the highway fund, and related expenditures will be paid from the highway department. Decrease A 3120.4, police contractual by $5,372.01. Increase A 3120.2, increase police equipment, $5,372.01. The purpose is to replace the end-of-life automated external defibrillators that was not funded in the equipment plan.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. If I can just jump back to the quote for the 3 defibrillators, now we have money to pay for it. It's $5,372.01. Cintas was the company that had the best, and we used them already, right, Mike, for other things?
Yeah.
So, need a motion to buy 3 AEDs from Cintas.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried, thank you. So as the people in Hidden Valley certainly know, and people that drive through there, there's been some flooding issues, it's an ongoing problem. The board had asked Dean to get an estimate on replacing the culvert out there, which would increase the water flow and hopefully get rid of the flooding. So the cost would be $48,029.38. So we need a motion to authorize Dean to do that work.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Dean, did you wanna, anything to add with that?
No.
And it was, 4 weeks start to finish, right?
To complete it, yeah.
Perfect.
The culvert has to be custom made.
So that's why we needed to get it done now, so you probably, like August time?
Yeah, I'm gonna order it now, so.
Okay, perfect, thank you. We need to surplus, I don't know, how do you pronounce that? I'm terrible.
Aces?
Asus laptop computer model Q524U. It's a notebook PC, so we're looking to surplus that item. It's no longer being used.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Looking for authorization to purchase a computer for the deputy town clerk and the assessor. These are state bid contracts, $1,142.74 out of ARPA, and that does not include the monitors, there would be extra. I spoke to Dennis, he can't get parts for his computer anymore, it was purchased in 2012. So I think we've certainly got our money out of that one, and Liz's is about the same, so need a motion to do
I'll
that.
make the motion.
Second,
Second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Need an abstract, authorize paying bills and abstracts 15, 16, and 17.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. We have successfully completed the filing of our annual financial report. Lorelei was able to do that, we did that in-house. It is, open for review. Kathleen, you have it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone would like it, they can certainly, it's a big, huge document, you're more than welcome to see Kathleen during business hours, and you can review it. Public participation. Anyone would like to come up and address the public? Come on up. You could just say your name for the minutes.
John Valerich, Roller Road. Ladies and gentlemen, just looking for an update on 278 Roller Road with all that contaminated demolition stuff. Bring up the answers.
So we, excuse me, we had a meeting after our last board meeting. We met here, it was myself, Mark, the assistant building inspector, Jason, the town engineer. The property owner was here, I think with two family members. They didn't participate, they just listened. The developer that has the pieces on site, the two attorneys representing the builder and the property owner. And there was an environmental engineer. That was the firm that did the testing of the soil. Yes. So there was some back and forth about what, long story long, is the property owner is looking to resolve the issue. The question is, what's it gonna take to do so? So we went back and forth about their suggestions. Of the 9 samples that were taken, one was the most, I would call it the most contaminated, the most concerning, the middle of the driveway.
Yep.
Their plan was to try to remove a certain area of that as opposed to all the samples, or all the materials, excuse me. What we agreed to was that in the short term, they would take the expense of testing all the surrounding wells, so yourself would be one of them. They were going to be doing that sooner than later, while we still resolve this, how we're going to resolve the removal of the other materials. The other thing that Jason, the engineer, suggested to them, to the environmental engineer, was to do like some topo snapshots, if you will, which he said it could be easy to determine how much materials were actually brought on site, because nobody really knows that number. I know when you live there, so you have an idea, but from a more objective standard, he said take some, do some analysis and get us that information. But start off with the well testing, and then we're gonna have another meeting date to be determined. So I would call it positive progress. I mean, it's not gonna be done like this, but they do want to resolve the issue. They try to keep it within fiscal reasonableness, to whatever that means, but.
It means nothing to me.
Understood.
So, my concern is, first of all, the core drills that they did in the beginning were random. So just because that core didn't hit something in that particular spot, doesn't mean that whole area may not be contaminated. Because when he brought those loads in, it was a load, smush it down, a load, smush it down, a load, so.
There were 400 triaxles that came in.
I mean, it was so random, these tests. So for them to say they're just gonna take out one little bit because that was the worst, I'm not okay with that.
To be clear, that was a suggestion, that wasn't an agreed upon plan. And I will also say, well, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. The meeting was more technical from our engineer and their engineer. So I'm not, as an attorney, I don't profess to have any input as to whether those samples were random or there was some empirical reasons why they did it. But that was more of a technical conversation that they were having. And the discussion was they may need to do more testing depending on the degree of those truckloads, the materials being placed, because they did just the driveway, was where those samples were taken.
Well, there's other areas.
Correct. The conversation was there was some fill brought in for the septic system, or the leach field area. That may have been cleaner fill, but then so again, those were things that were being discussed. This was the first meeting after a year of this going on.
My concern is, this is a man who has no regard for the community. He brought in all of this contaminated fill knowingly, and the town is although there's been a stop work order since last April, he violated it. First of all, he without a permit, brought in all this debris. Then he violated the stop work order and had these house pieces delivered. So at what point do we stop making amends for him, or make it easy for him and fiscally okay for him, who has no regard for the community.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into, you have your beliefs, and I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just looking at it from a town standpoint, and quite frankly, you
It's
know,
just-
I came in as of January. I'm not saying anything about the prior administration or what happened, but, you know, the meeting that took place, in my professional opinion, was a productive one. And, you know, we're asking for information to be provided so that we can determine what is the next step, the appropriate step that we're gonna tell him. And if they don't like it, then it's gonna go down a different path. But this is at least, you know,
Because at one point, I had heard that something being thrown around was letting him set the house.
No.
And then take, like, we know there's contamination. Get rid of that before we allow him to do anything else.
Yeah.
I just don't,
so I can just tell you that was not a discussion whatsoever about allowing those pieces of the home to be set. It was test all the wells, get us more information so we can determine, you know, from an objective standpoint, how much material is actually brought on site, and then we will determine about what testing we might need further, sooner than later, and then what has to be removed. It might be all of it, or we might be able to live with some, because it's not necessarily contaminated fill on the entire site. So,
by those random core drills.
there may be more samples that have to be taken.
Okay.
We're not just gonna rely on those 9, potentially.
The short answer for how the well testing is gonna go,
In what regards, what short answer?
who's gonna come to the door?
So the environmental engineer agreed to take that on. They would they would reach out to the town. The plan was, the town would, you know, again, this was a discussion. The town would reach out to you and the other adjacent property owners to advise you. This is the contact, this will be who is contacting you. They will be coming on, you know, to test your, you know, to take samples for testing purposes.
And just real quick, I know we're running out of time here. The short answer that I have for the depth of the debris was when they did the core drills, it was 8 feet before they had topsoil by the road, and it was 5 feet by the foundation. So I understand that why he wants to do the topography, I really don't understand this, because the core drills will tell you how far it gets you to get to that topsoil.
I think it was also more just, it wasn't just the driveway area that you're talking about,
No,
it's the entire parcel, and that's what he's looking for, other information about where other fill, or, you know, may have been set and kind of graded out.
This might be a question really quick for Dean. This gentleman also rerouted the whole culvert system on our road.
You were there to try and correct it for us. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Ours backs
He
up.
was
He created this jig-jag, I don't even know.
strange.
So, like,
So the pipe he put under the driveway has had a dump truck full of dirt in front of it since God knows when.
So it all
So
backs
our
up.
culvert backs up. He rerouted the culvert that goes along the road. He moved it about 30 feet in from the road, without telling you. Like I said, so here's the problem that I was talking about. You can talk to him, and he'll tell you what you want to hear, but he would rather ask for forgiveness or permission.
he's just gonna do
So-
whatever he wants.
So the stop work order in April, multiple times between April and June, when the homes, the boxes were delivered, Julie was over there multiple times because he kept on violating the order. Then he has the houses delivered after the stop work order has been in effect for 2.5 months. And even after that, he continued to do work until Julie finally, wait to stop finally, I don't know. So here we are,
A year later.
13 months later, he's not abided by one rule that this town has. So our concern is that if you give him this much, he's just gonna do what he wants anyway, and then hope to negotiate his way out of it.
And I feel like we're paying the price, to
Yeah.
tell you
I
the
mean, I've been
truth.
staring at this for 2 years now.
We built
So,
our dream home, and we have to look at that garbage.
I don't know if you had an opportunity to see it or not, but
Let's not photograph.
wasn't sure if you got them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you understand our concerns. I don't like you bothering everybody,
No,
but
you're not bothering us. We'll keep you in the loop, and Dean, can you follow up on the culvert if there's an issue with that? Thank you.
thank you very much.
All right,
Good
no
evening,
problem.
folks.
Thank you. Come on.
Mike Carey from Schoolhouse Road. This is a follow-up to a conversation I had with you folks, some of you folks, last fall. and it concerns building inspector and building permits and display as such. At the time, I asked if buildings were required to be shown on a construction site. Had the rule changed, or the rules rather? And I was told, no, nobody thought they had changed, and then it was due. Well, the houses are still going up. I see no building permits in front of them. Funny, I do see them in front of individuals that are doing them. In groups like the ones that are put along 10 homes on Schoolhouse. They're in the process of putting 16 homes in on Pine Grove. 2 houses just past Tally Ho on 211. These are just places where I happen to drive by. No permits. To me, a permit is a sign that somebody is looking over their shoulder. It's transparency. People want to know if this thing is allowed. You know, have they gone through the proper procedures? We're not seeing that. I was told somebody would speak with the building inspector. I don't know, I haven't seen a change in that. So I'm just asking. For instance, there's a house going in on the lower portion of Carboy Road, I think it's about 13 or the number. All wetland in there, it's where the Little Shongan Kill comes down through there. But yet there is a permit on that one. It's an individual putting it in, it's not somebody building a whole bunch of tract homes. So obviously, some people are following the rules, and some people might have to be made to follow the rules. But that's just my opinion.
I don't know what the rules are personally, I wasn't here in the fall, but I will follow up with Julie
Well,
tomorrow.
you were one of the ones that I was relating to that were here when I spoke.
Right, no,
about
no,
this
no, that's
last
fine, but I
time.
will promise you I'll follow up with Julie tomorrow and find out what those rules actually are, and believe me, she'll take care of
You
it
know,
if it's.
it's, like I said, it's just transparency,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we know what's going on.
I agree with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go up. Sure. Meredith Rosetta, Otisville. Pocatello is having, the Pocatello Ladies Auxiliary is doing a pocketbook bingo, May 18th. $35 prepaid, $40 at the door. Prepaid gets you a couple of extra goodies. If anybody's interested, see me, I can get you in touch with the person who is actually running it to pay your monies. Also, I still have lotto calendars, and we'll have them until the end of June. They're $5 a piece, it's for the Ladies Auxiliary again, it's for one of our fundraisers.
Thank you. Come on up, Diane.
Just a couple really quick things. Kathleen mentioned with correspondence that I had sent over the final schedules for the seniors. I also sent electronic copies over to her and said, you feel free to, you know, put them wherever, website, because you don't have to be a member of the seniors either to attend our meetings or to go on the trips. With the trips, there's a slight increase in the cost, but that's all in the stuff that I sent her. I did have an informal meeting with Paul a couple of weeks ago, just to bring it to the board's attention. I do hope that in long-range planning for the buildings, that you will consider upgrading the HVAC system in the senior center. The fact that we're still dealing with a system that has to be turned on and off. And this time of year, it becomes critical. And I would think that it's even more critical for your rentals than it is for our seniors. You know, if they're in there exercising and it's hot, they can open the doors. But, you know, if there's a party going on and there's 150 people in there, that might be a little, but keep it in mind, please don't let that fall through the cracks. I know the original plan was that they were going to do it when they did the police department, and I understood why that couldn't be done. But I do hope that sooner than later, it's something that can be addressed. The only other thing I have, changing hats here, Hometown Helpers. Hometown Helpers is having their annual volunteer appreciation luncheon on Monday the 20th. And I think all of you have heard me talk about the critical part that both Kathleen and Liz play in keeping this organization running and running so smoothly. The fact that when people call in for assistance, they talk to a human being on an answering machine is very unique. Most organizations like ours do not have that. So they are most certainly invited to this appreciation luncheon. And I would just ask the board's support to allow them to close the office in order to be able to attend that.
What day is that?
Monday the 20th,
Of May.
yes. Any questions? Okay, that's it.
We need to we need to make a motion to close the town clerk's office for those
No.
2 hours, no?
Should do a resolution. If you're gonna close it, you should do a resolution.
Is everyone thoughts on that?
I'm fine with it.
Alright, so need a motion to close the town clerk's office on Monday, May 20th for 2 hours. Is that sufficient, Kathleen?
Sure. It's in Middletown, it's not like at the senior center, so
Alright, so,
You have a time?
yeah,
You should
what's,
make it.
what's,
12 o'clock is when it starts.
so 11:30 to 2:30? Close the clerk's office from 11:30 to 2:30 on Monday, May 20th. Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Any other comments? Mike, come on up. I know you're. I'm sorry. Put your glasses on now.
Mike, yeah. Can you clarify when you said about you said it's a service agreement with the Water Solutions, I believe?
Correct.
And what is that in detail? Is that where they come out to fix stuff, or?
They are the ones that come out and fix it. They built a lot of the parts in that plant. They built part of the plant. So they are the ones that fix things there and replace things.
So it's not a consulting thing that's paid for, it's a service, a maintenance
He
agreement?
says he's basically, yes, but he calls himself a consultant. But it's a service contract, is what it is, basically. So we get so many hours of service from them via the phone for free, and we pay a certain rate for them to come, that's included, or a certain amount of hours that's included.
Do you have the contract, or?
I do. Well, I don't have the contract, I have the scope of what,
So we have no physical contract at all here?
he sent it in, whenever he sent it, and he said, this is what's covered. So I have it. It's not actually a contract, though.
Okay, it's just an agreement.
It's an overview of what they supply for $7,500.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Nope, all right. Board comments, I'll start on this side, Amanda. We did. Did we approve the weight limit on Spruce Road?
No.
I didn't think we did.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, yeah, yes and no. So we did a resolution.
All right, yes.
So you're saying we should also, in addition, do a local law?
I'm just saying, the resolution's fine.
Okay, all right.
For the short term, if you wanted, if it's gonna be a longer term thing, you might wanna consider doing a local. But you've done the resolution with the weight limit, so I think that's fine for tonight.
Okay, and then I'll talk to Dean and see what he thinks the time frame is, maybe the engineers will do that. I'm sorry, anything else, man?
No, that was it. I
Okay.
just wanted to make sure.
Perfect.
But
You're good.
going forward, I do agree with the local.
All right, that's fine.
I don't have anything other than Happy Mother's Day this weekend and go get pancakes at the firehouse.
Chris?
Same. Just happy Mother's Day and that's all.
That's all I have. Happy Mother's Day, thank you for all for coming. Need a motion to adjourn. Second, so carried.
Not just everybody will leave. Take a look.
I wrote it.
Go left by the other guy. That's this guy.
Wait, you gotta be white. Amanda's like scared.